Hello everybody and welcome to my drama life video. Bear in mind I'm not a very good artist or graphic designer for that matter, so you're not going to get very good pictures. The art quality is not going to be up to par, I guess. Those are spotlights, by the way. The yellows didn't show up. I'm not very good at drawing spotlights. This was filmed on the 5th attempt, and this is the 3rd or 4th attempt of doing the narration. So I've kind of worked hard on this video. I've never had so many technical difficulties before on a video. So yeah, this has been an experience, shall we say. So let's get on with it. You're also going to see a lot of spray erasing because some of the markers I bought were wet erase markers. So yeah, that's the thing. I was born in Benton Harbor, Michigan, in a hospital. Most of my childhood I lived in trailer parks. So I'm trailer trash. I had a Brady Bunch type of family, even though most of my brothers and sisters had moved out by the time I was born. That there is my mom, right there. There's my dad. Glasses and short hair. That is my brother Ken, who was the only person living in the house when I was born, or the only sibling. That is my crazy brother George. That is my brother Jimmy, who I have not seen in years and years and years and years and years. There's my sister Dixie. I actually talked to her over the weekend. It's my sister Vicky, the salon makeup guru, hair guru. And that is my sister Scarlett. For some reason I drew pink hair on her, even though she never had pink hair. And that is me. And when I was a kid I had blonde hair. I don't know what happened to that blonde hair. I wish I still had that blonde hair. But it all turned brown. It was like, ah, it looks just ugly now. Of course, it's mostly fallen out. I was good in school. I hated school. I was a good student. I was really smart. Everybody wanted to copy off me. But I was never really the kind of person that really fit in that well. And I really hated school. I was just always socially awkward and stuff. Erase that. Every Sunday morning my mom would play records on the record player. And usually they were country and gospel music. But this started my love of music in general. And it's something I could not live without. I mean, yeah, I heart music there. I would probably die without music. Seriously. I just love music. All kinds. When I was 10, I went over to a friend of mine's house to check out some robots that he had. And he had these pictures of these 4 guys with this really weird makeup on. And I was like, who's that? And he's like, oh, that's Kiss. Now this was around the time when a lot of people thought that Kiss was sort of a group that a lot of kids would get into, even though really they're not. But I would spend all day in school just drawing their faces. My favorite was always Ace Frehley. He was my first guitar hero. When I was 13, I had to stay late after school to catch up on an assignment in home economics that I'd missed. Me and my teacher were caning peaches and listening to the radio when Is There Something I Should Know by Duran Duran came on. I loved the song, and that really kind of started my love for the band of Duran Duran. It wasn't until about 2011 that I actually got to see them live, but best show ever until, of course, the 2012 show at the Joint came around, and I saw them live then too. So I saw them twice on the same tour, and it was awesome. My favorite was always John, but my biggest musical influence is actually Nick, the keyboard player. You can really tell it in my music sometimes. "1986 was not a good year for me. My sister died in a car accident when her husband was drunk driving and crashed into a tree. Basically wrapped the car around a tree. My dad actually died of a heart attack around Christmas that same year. So I was not happy that year at all. It was a sucky year. After my dad died, my mom moved to Tulsa, Oklahoma to be closer to my sister, and I moved with her, of course. At that time, I discovered Debbie Gibson, and at the time I was actually doing a lot of marijuana at the time, so I saw an interview with Debbie Gibson, and I was a big fan of hers, and she said, "Hey, don't do drugs. I don't do drugs, so you shouldn't do drugs." So I stopped doing marijuana. And so I credit her for getting me off drugs, even though it was just marijuana. But I still get thrills when I hear her music on the radio or in the mall or whatever. She's a big idol of mine. It was at this time that my mom started drinking a lot. And I would sometimes spend all day out of the house just to stay away from her because I just did not like her drunk. Alcohol sucks. Don't drink alcohol at all. It's bad for you. Bad, 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 bad. After high school, I went to Rogers State College. I got an associate's degree in accounting, but I never used it because I had already found another job I can make good money at. My mom's drinking got eventually really bad, and I moved out. I moved into an apartment complex where I got broke into in my car and in the apartment twice in 1 week. And so I left that place. I found better places to live, so it's all good. While I was in college, I got a job delivering pizza for AJ's Heavenly Pizza. In total, I've delivered pizza for 18 years. For AJ's, Pizza Hut, and Papa John's. It's easy money, but you have to rely on the generosity of others, and that's kind of hard to do. It was at this time I met my only girlfriend I had, Lisa. We met at a line to get concert tickets. We dated on and off for a few years, but it never really worked out. Not to say that Lisa was the only girl I was interested in. I had a huge crush on a girl named Rachel while I was working at AJ's. I would do anything for her, even actually trying to become a Christian to impress her at one point, but that didn't work. Unrequited love sucks. My mom and my sister decided to move to Michigan, so I moved up to South Bend to be a little closer to them. When my mom got cancer, her and Dixie moved to Ohio so my mom could be closer to her sister, my Aunt Bess. After she died, I moved back to Oklahoma. In 1998, I became a pagan, specifically a Wiccan. I worshipped Selene and Apollo. I did the Esbats and Sabbats as much as I could. And I met a great group of local pagans and attended as many public circles as I could. This group of pagans eventually began to splinter, and the public circles stopped happening after a while. 2001 was an insane year. My favorite tennis player, Jennifer Capriati, won her first major tournament, the Australian Open, and she also won the French Open that year. I have no idea why I'm drawing her naked. Must be some weird thing with me. However, my favorite race car driver, Dale Earnhardt, died in the Daytona 500. And I had planned to take a vacation to New York that year, but the terrorist attacks occurred, and therefore I canceled that trip. So 2001 was a real roller coaster for me, I guess. In 2005, I released my first CD, Solitary Eclectic. I was hoping it would be big in the pagan community, but it wasn't, because I have no marketing skills whatsoever. But it's on iTunes if you want to check it out. In 2007, I discovered YouTube. I became a fan of people like Brookers and The Hill 88, and I started getting inspired to make videos of my own, mostly music videos. The first music video I actually made was called Wild Women, which I filmed at the Shimmy Shack in Tulsa. And it is still my most popular music video, even though it's not as popular as other music videos out there. I don't know why I drew her with no hands, but I'm terrible at drawing hands, so no big deal. But I learned a lot from that video, and I'm still very proud of that. That was the first music video I ever did. I finally made it to New York City in 2007. I love the energy of New York. I wish I could live there, but I don't have the money to live there. But I love New York. I've been there 4 times. In 2008, my car broke down, and I was doing 2 jobs at the time, delivering pizza and working in another place. And when I couldn't deliver pizza anymore, I had to declare bankruptcy. That is supposed to be a wallet that's empty with butterflies coming out. So don't have credit cards because it's too easy to really abuse them and use them too much. In 2009, I released my second CD, Reincarnation. No, I'm not drawing the Sphinx because those are too hard to draw, but you can check it out on iTunes. I went to 789 in 2009, and I met the Hill 88 and What the Buck and Mystery Guitar Man and a bunch of other people. That was the first YouTube gathering I ever went to, and it was so cool. I became an atheist in 2010 because I started watching people like XXX The Peach XXX, Pat Kundell, Aaron Raw, Dev Shell, and others. So I became an atheist. In 2011, I released my third CD, Beautiful Androids. I believe it's my best work yet, some of the most experimental stuff I've ever done, until the next CD comes out, and that should be out, I don't know when. I went to VidCon in 2011 as well, and I met Olga K and Exotic Jess, and I finally met Brookers, my hero. And I also met Mickey Kitty and many other people. I can't wait. I'm going to go to VidCon again in 2013. Let's see, 2012 happened, except, we were all supposed to die, but gee, that didn't happen. 2013, I created a new channel, Vlogoverdrive, which I use just for vlogging. I went to Playlist Live this year, and I met all kinds of people. Strawberry17 and Catrific and Jimmy Wong and Briley Bishop and Wheezy Waiter and Joey Graceffa and lots of other people. What does the future hold? I don't know, but more bass. They probably won't see this, but I'm tagging Catrific and Strawberry17 to do this. Actually, Catrific looks like she might be doing this. So I'm going to tag them. Thank you all for watching. Thank you all for subscribing. Have a wonderful day.